All right, we're playing under overrated. Just let me know if they're under or overrated. Simple strategies. We're gonna start off with liquidity sweep.
I think liquidity sweep strategy and like entering in just straight off liquidity sweeps, I think that's probably maybe a little bit underrated because I don't hear a lot of people using that method much. It's not like trending or anything, right?
Yeah.
But it can be pretty effective, especially with like entries into overall trend during a pullback. Right.
Yeah, it's
So
totally a good entry detection mechanism. Totally. So I might have to agree with you on there. VWAP.
VWAP super underrated. I think especially anchor VWAP where you manually set your high and low points on the previous price structure.
Yeah.
There's professional traders that day trade just off of VWAP and do well. So I think VWAP is one of those things where very underrated. You don't hear many people talking about it.
I see a lot of futures traders trading VWAP. It's really common there, but it's totally underrated in the Forex space. Nobody's really trading VWAP other than during the New York Open, basically.
Right. That's true. Yeah. Yeah. It's just, it's a futures thing, isn't it? That's true. Yeah.
Right? Futures traders love it. So it might be overrated in futures, underrated elsewhere.
Yeah. That's actually a good point. Yeah.
Because it's huge in futures. Oh, a simple one. Trend lines. Just a static trend line.
Completely overrated.
Completely overrated. I would have to agree with you.
Yeah. It's just so subjective, right?
Totally. Hey, another trend-based thing, moving average cross.
I think for beginners, it's overrated. I think, a beginner might come in and think they can just enter when two lines cross is ridiculous.
Yeah.
But maybe underrated for more of an advanced trader looking at some fundamentals.
Actually going to say the same thing as I was going to say for advanced traders. I think it's actually underrated because it's a super easy way to quickly gain. The trend is up. This is my bias, right? If you already have an entry mechanism, you can easily determine more or less the trend just based off of a moving average, right? If it's above or below sort of thing, right?
Yeah, that's so true. Yeah.
But then you have to use that in conjunction with your actual trading.
With something, some other context, right? You can't just like go, oh, I'm going long. There's a cross.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, let's do some under overrated for crypto. So we're going to start off, of course, with Bitcoin. We're going to start with Bitcoin. Why not?
Bitcoin probably a little bit overrated right now. Everyone's talking about it. It doesn't need any more hype than it already has. Yeah.
It's a difficult one because there's a reason why it should be that much hyped. It's the only one that we can for sure rely on. Is your mom and dad invested in Bitcoin, right? So it could even be more, hyped up. I think I would say it's perfectly evenly rated. I think it's perfect. XRP.
Probably a little bit underrated. I think there's a lot of hate toward XRP just because of so stale for so long. Then finally a little bit of life, but still I think a lot of people are hesitant, so likely underrated.
Yeah, that's again another tricky one. I hated it before too. I think I switched the bandwagon and now I think it's actually going to be a useful project in the coming years. So yeah, maybe underrated so far. Totally. Now that it's actually going to have a use case for the banks, right?
That's true.
Here's another bonk. Bonk, eh?
Yeah. I think, I think for all the people in the community of bonk, it's probably overrated.
Yeah, totally.
But that's just the nature of meme coins and stuff like that. It's like a religion. Everyone thinks theirs is the one true coin.
Yeah. I think that kind of goes for every single meme coin. Here's the question then. Dogecoin. That's the ultimate meme coin. Is that under or overrated?
Right now, it might be. I mean, it could be underrated overall right now, just because there has been so much attention on other meme coins. Right. So it could be like kind of waiting in the shadows.
Man, I'd argue all meme coins are overrated.
Yeah.
I think for some reason I think crypto as a whole right now is overrated.
I would probably agree with that statement.
Doesn't mean I'm not going to buy any.
Yeah.
Under overrated for trading assets, non-crypto. Start off with Tesla.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Good one, right?
Man, I'm going to say underrated and I'll tell you why. Okay, I don't like Tesla vehicles and I'm not a fan, but their research and development is pushing so hard on AI and house robots. And that's the future where everyone has like a robot in their house as a servant, Yeah. And I think if they're at the front of the line to push those out, it's going to go to the moon.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you just for the fact that right now it's dumped 50%. Right now it is literally down 50%. So it is quite literally underrated because it was previously overrated.
Yeah. That's crazy. 50%. This year or just like the last 3 months?
Since start of the year, down 50%.
Wow, that's nuts.
Since year to date. Isn't that crazy, eh?
That means Elon Musk's wealth is dumped half. Is that right? He
Right?
doesn't
Yeah.
care.
Hey,
He doesn't
that's
care.
funny. Let me pull up Tesla on the side here. Oh, and it's pumping now. Hey,
Yeah, well, I've seen it drop like
I
20% in a day before. It's crazy.
I bought the bottom so far. Unless it goes lower, I bought the bottom so far. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
At
Oh, that is
240 I bought in. And it's
240.
yeah, it's at 270 just about now. Huh?
Oh, okay.
But it was at just under 500. So it dropped 50%
Wow. Yeah,
exactly
that's wild.
since I guess Christmas. Christmas it started dumping. Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Sell your Tesla.
That's crazy, huh?
They're just selling so they can buy Christmas gifts. How about the US yen with that
The
pair?
pair?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say it's overrated. I think,
Yeah.
I think if it doesn't trend, it just whipsaws all day, every day, right? So maybe
Yeah.
if you're like some kind of range or RSI trader, you can find something that works. But yeah, if you're not gonna, if you're trying to get a good entry and ride a strong move, you're just gonna get destroyed usually.
Yeah.
It's a difficult pair.
Yeah. Okay. Then I would have to agree with that completely. Let's talk about kind of an oddball but still common. Crude oil. What do you think?
Crude oil, I think it's probably underrated. Not a lot of people trade it.
Yeah.
But it's very dependent on fundamental conditions. So I think if you're a fundamental trader,
Totally.
it could be very underrated if you're not trading it.
Totally. I
Yeah.
think the same goes for nat gas too. Any
Yeah.
of these commodities, right? Commodities traders are some of the best traders I know, right? Because
Mhm.
it's fundamental based. They're tracking the trends, and they're really really clean price action, but they're not super popular. Other than gold, what's your take on gold?
I think gold is it's everyone trades gold, so I don't think it can be overrated, but it's definitely not underrated either.
Yeah,
Because like it has
perfectly
everything you
rated.
need. It has the volatility, it has the trending, it has solid price action for all different styles of traders. So yeah, I think it's
Hey man,
great asset.
it's gold for a reason, you know.
Yeah.
It's one of the kings. There's a few things that everyone trades. It's gold, Nasdaq, Euro, USD, you know,
Yeah.
and Bitcoin. That's
And
everything you need ever.
and you know what the beautiful thing about gold is, like recently in the last like year and a half, it's been moving through all the sessions like
Yeah,
quite well. So
yeah,
it's not like you have to wait until New York Open to trade. You can like take advantage of movement in any session now.
yeah. Gold is really that's so true. You can do it. You can do it at any time around the year. It's perfectly rated. I think it is. It is perfectly rated as the number one asset. And I
Mhm.
don't even like gold, and I'm saying that. So
Well, you
I
should
hate
start.
gold, man. I
You
hate
hate
gold.
that.
Nasdaq's for me, but yeah, we're gonna play explain a concept to a non-trader. You can't use
Oh my
any.
gosh, I'm so bad at this.
Why am I doing this to you? Right?
I hate word games. Yeah.
Yeah. You
You
just
can't
all you
use
got to
any
do
words.
pretend like I know nothing about trading. You got to explain what would you prefer? I'm going to let you choose an FVG or a liquidity sweep
Okay.
to somebody, and you can't use any trading terminology.
Okay. Let's use FVG.
FVG. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to
Okay.
pretend to be as dumb as I can. Okay.
Okay.
And action.
Okay. So, are you a golfer? Have you ever golfed before?
However, I golfed before. I've golfed. Yes, I've golfed.
All right.
Yeah, one time in Florida. Yeah, I've golfed before.
Okay. So
I
when
love golf.
you're kind of training on the grass with your irons, and you
Mhm.
swing the club and you make a nice little divot, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
I hit the grass, hey?
Yeah. You made a divot, and then you can't hit the divot from the same spot again because there's a divot there. So you have to move the ball forward.
Well, that's breaking the rules.
What?
It's breaking the rules, no?
You have to move the ball forward? I'm talking
I
about golf.
I can move the ball forward in golf. Can I that's not breaking the rules, man.
Oh, no, no. Oh, I mean, no, when you're on the range or something. When you're on
Oh,
the
I'm on the
range and
driving range.
yeah, yeah, sorry, you're practicing on the grass.
Oh, I'm practicing. Okay, so we're
Yeah,
playing with fake shots. Gotcha.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So just picture this. Okay, so you're practicing on the range and you're making divots on the grass. Okay,
Yeah.
so you make like 4 or 5 digit divots,
Yeah.
and then you move forward 3 feet and you make 4 or 5 divots. Okay,
Yeah.
now you have a space of nice clean grass
Yeah.
in between those 2 divots. All right. Doesn't that seem like a good place to place your next ball to shoot?
Yeah, because
hit?
I want to come back to the original position.
Yeah,
I want
it's
to keep
clean.
shooting from the same spot. So if I move forward too much, I come back, right?
Yeah. It's a nice clean area. You can take a shot that nobody has destroyed the ground. There's lots of opportunity on that grass there. You can take
Yeah.
advantage of that nice clean grass.
That's
That is a fair value gap.
That's a fair value. Oh wow.
That little strip of grass that you haven't
That's
destroyed,
awesome,
that's a
dude.
fair value.
Wow, good one. I'm surprised. I'm impressed.
I'm a golfer, so it made sense to me.
Okay. So we're doing blind tier list. You can only do one per slot. There's 5 slots, and we're doing Forex prop firms. We're starting off with Blue Guardian.
Blue Guardian is number 5.
Number 5, man, right off the bat.
Yeah, I don't like Blue Guardian.
What you
I
got
think
beef with Blue Guardian?
they have a beautiful habit of banning profitable traders as soon as they
shit.
possibly can. So
Shit.
they're on number 5.
Hey, whatever.
Allegedly.
Business,
Allegedly.
yeah, there you go. Yeah, not advice of whatever financial means, you know. Okay, number 2, E8.
E8. Ooh, I'm gonna put E8 at number 2. E8's freaking solid, and they never run crazy sales, so they're always very consistent. They're always going to pay out. They're always going to have the right cash flow. Their homepage is great. They have Forex and futures options. They pay out fast. Yeah, they're solid.
Yeah, man. I think that's a good spot for E8. They've been around for a long time. So number 3, Fintoki.
I'd put it at number 5 if I could, but I'm gonna have to put that at number 4.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh man,
it's not good. Yeah, unfortunately, they sent out a mass email to all of their profitable traders or people in phase 2 that had a high probability of passing, and saying they're restricting their risk and lot sizes by a ridiculous amount, and they put a daily profit cap in place, which is ridiculous, right? So you can't make money, trading. Making money is bad. Therefore, we're going to cap.
There's a lot of rules in the industry, and it is difficult to be a firm and a trader, I suppose, right now. Okay, so number 4, we got Maven.
You said Maven wasn't going to be on there.
No, I lied.
Well, Maven, we're going to put Maven number 1. Pay out fast. Support chickens when they're trading.
Support chickens. Yeah.
They don't discriminate against chickens.
Nice.
Yeah.
So for the 5 slot, you got Alpha Capital. That goes at a solid 3.
Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, Alpha Capital's number 3. They're fine. Alpha Capital, I think, is a good spot for number 3. We had some issues in the past, but they've been solid enough, right?
Yeah.
Very mid.
Yeah. Okay, cool. We're doing a blind tier list of Forex prop firms once again. Yeah. 1 firm per slot. That's the one. Yeah. Starting off with Fivers.
Fivers, I'll put right at the top, number 1.
Number 1. That's a solid pick. Fivers been around a long time.
They're solid. They never had one issue ever. They pay out within a couple days, and their scaling plan is the best. Is the best. So
that's a good pick. Solid choice for Fivers there right off the bat. What if I came out with FTMO or something?
I wouldn't put FTMO at 1 anyway.
You wouldn't, eh? Bright funded. Now that's a crypto firm, a crypto-based firm as well.
Bright, I trade Forex.
Oh, you do, hey? Okay. So they have both then.
Bright funded, I'll put at number 3. They're okay. I think I had an issue with them where they capped my daily max loss 1% or something at one point for my funded account, which is kind of annoying. Yeah. But they're fine. They pay out.
As long as you get paid, right?
As long as you get paid, that's all that matters. Yeah.
Next up, Blueberry.
Blueberry, number 2 for sure.
Right on.
Yeah, I really like Blueberry. And I think it's solid. They're backed by a broker too, which is kind of nice. Yeah.
You know what? Before the prop firm space, I'll be honest, I used to trade on Blueberry, right? And then Maven literally had a partnership with Blueberry too for some time. We were trading with Blueberry, right? And then they went on their own way, right? And they started their own firm. So I got nothing against Blueberry. I think good spot for Blueberry, good spot for Fivers. Good list so far. 4 and 5 though remaining. Quant Technical.
I'll put Quant at 4. I guess. Yeah. I think that's not a bad spot for them. They had a lot of issues over the last year, but they've really been pushing on trying to make it better for everyone. There's aftermath they have to deal with, right? It's still customers that are bitter and all that. Yeah. So you hear a lot of negative talk over them, but I think long term, I think they'll do okay.
Yeah. Totally. I get a similar feeling now. This is, you might not like this pick for 5. And it's my buddy actually owns this one, a decent friend of mine, Trader Main. Breakout. That's a crypto firm.
Yeah, but I don't trade crypto. So just me personally, I put it at 5 because I would never use it.
Good list then. You'd never use it. Perfect for you.
No offense, man.
Yeah,
because I've talked to him as well. You're a good guy, but
right.
But I haven't personally traded your prop firm, so let's do it.
So we're doing blind tier list 5 for futures prop firms. Okay, we're starting off with My Funded Futures owner Matt L. There.
Yeah, I'll put that at 4. I looked at the model; it wasn't great for traders. I'm sure it's sustainable for them, or profitable for them, but I wasn't interested. And then also, I don't really trade with their Forex side either. So yeah.
Do they have Project X? I can't remember. I really like firms with Project X installed. Right,
Oh, I don't
that's the one
know.
that
Yeah.
that's the
Yeah.
one that Top Step uses.
I use Tradeum whenever I
Okay.
can, but I'll check out Project X as well. I've
I
heard of
like
that.
I like firms with Project X personally. That's where my list would have gone. But hey, it's your list. So next
Yeah,
up,
it's my list. Yeah.
Alpha Futures.
I haven't tried them either. I've looked at them briefly. I'll put them at 3.
Yeah,
I think same as their Forex side. It's probably quite mid.
yeah.
So I think 3 is a fair spot for them.
Oh, makes sense. Makes sense totally. I traded with them before, and they got the Project X. Nothing too crazy, nothing weird. Pricing seemed fine. It's all normal.
Mhm.
Then I was happy with them. So
Nice.
Trade Day. Trade Day.
I know I've heard of them,
Yeah,
but I think I briefly looked. The problem is if I briefly look at one and there's a red flag for me or something that
yeah.
doesn't meet my requirements, I just move on. So I'll put that at 5 just because I don't know.
Maybe. Yeah, yeah. That's fair. Perfectly fine. 4 is Apex.
Yeah, Apex put it number 2. I mean, their rules are ridiculous, but they're so cheap that it kind of offsets the difficult rules because Apex is my most profitable
Yeah,
futures prop firm, which is hilarious because they're the hardest to reach payout with.
totally.
But
But
just
you
because
keep getting discounts.
yeah, I ran such a high volume of them, right? So I
Yeah.
ran like 40 challenges, all at like $20 each, and then
Wow.
5 of those accounts resulted in like 25 grand profit or something. It was
Wow.
ridiculous. Yeah,
Insane. Yeah.
yeah.
So finally, I think you got a great list here. Perfect list, really. Top Step, number
Yeah,
one.
top step number 1, I would say. Like the
Yeah.
50% consistency is huge. And
Yeah.
it's just like, and then the payout, the funded account rules are so easy to follow, right? It's just like you need 7 profitable days or something and you're good to
Yeah.
go.
Simple. There's
Yeah.
no sticks. There's no craziness.